Hello there, welcome to my views and news. Two new stories for you. First one is from Ethiopia, where Ethiopian economy is in trouble for months. Ethiopian government has been trying to get a bailout package. It has been in talks with the creditors for debt payment suspension. Now, Ethiopia has signed an agreement with a country which has agreed to suspend Ethiopian debt repayments for 2 years. Secondly, viewers, Fano fighters yesterday carried out an attack in a very strategic city. This city is situated along a main road. A meeting of Prosperity Party was underway in the city when Fano fighters stormed the city, stormed the meeting. Details for you in this video. Let's start with a new story about Ethiopian economic crisis. Ethiopian economy is in trouble because of shortage of foreign exchange, rising inflation, rising food prices, no bailout package is coming, value of birr is declining, foreign direct investment is not coming in Ethiopia. And after Pretoria deal, it was being hoped that Ethiopia would be able to get a bailout package from the IMF and World Bank, and talks began. And Ethiopia was removed from the list of countries involved in human rights abuses by the US. But still, so far, no bailout package for Ethiopian government. Now, the main problem for Ethiopia is how to repay debt, because on yearly basis, debt repayment for Ethiopia is a problem. Why? Because foreign exchange reserves are dwindling very rapidly. No hard cash is arriving in Ethiopia. That is why. So Ethiopia wants creditors to suspend debt repayments. Ethiopia has been in talks with G8 countries, with China, with Arab countries too. It wants hard cash, hard currency. Secondly, it wants suspension of debt payment. China has come to the rescue of Ethiopia. A few weeks ago, when Ethiopian PM Abiy visited South Africa to attend a BRICS summit, there China assured to suspend Ethiopian debt repayment for this year. Talks started after that. Now talks have finalized. It is being reported that the two sides have reached an agreement. Agreement has been finalized reportedly. China has suspended Ethiopian debt payment for 2 years. It's a temporary relief, definitely. After 2 years, Ethiopia will have to pay debt in installment, obviously, to China. But for 2 years, debt repayment has been suspended through this agreement. Can we say that this decision is going to be a big boost for Ethiopian economy? Well, this decision is going to keep Ethiopian economy above water. And Ethiopia perhaps won't default now, but it won't enhance Ethiopian capacity to repay debt. Ethiopian capacity to repay debt can only be enhanced if hard cash arrives in Ethiopia from somewhere. If foreign exchange reserves increase, that is the only way. Foreign exchange reserves can only increase through a bailout package, through foreign direct investment, or through indigenous growth. We are not seeing any favorable conditions for any tremendous industrial agricultural growth in Ethiopia. Rather, one after the other conflicts are being witnessed. Peace in Tigray, but entire Amhara region being destabilized. So prospects of rapid indigenous economic growth are very dim. It means that Ethiopia will have to rely on its external partners. Ethiopia wants either Arab countries or Western countries to come to its rescue. China to Russia not in a position to support Ethiopia significantly. PM Abiy in talks with Arab countries too. And we know that PM Abiy's government suffered a setback this month when Ethio Telecom share uh, effort by the government did not receive any positive response. No one showed interest in buying shares in the third bidding of Ethio Telecom shares. It was a big blow because Ethiopia was hoping to get a few hundred million US dollars from the sale of Ethio Telecom shares. It did not happen. So we're seeing that as regards Ethiopian economy, we are not seeing any uh, encouraging developments. Rather, almost on daily basis, what we hear indicates that Ethiopian economic conditions are going to deteriorate in future. And people accuse the government too that it is mainly to the decisions of the government that economy is in this bad shape. If Ethiopia wants to buy Kinji drones with 100 million price of each of these drones, and if Ethiopia wants to build a palace, spending billions of birrs on the construction, that just indicates what the priorities of the government are. How can economy revive if government's priorities are about spending on defense sector? These are very important questions. But people say, Sajid, the sovereignty matters more. People want to defend their country's sovereignty so they can face hunger. But if there is no sovereignty, there won't be any Ethiopia. Well, I say there should be balance between spending on defense and spending on development. If there is no free and strong economy, by free I mean strong, if there is no strong economy in Ethiopia, sovereignty is already compromised. Those nations which are in debt, which are facing economic problems, are not sovereign. They cannot protect their borders. They have to sell their assets. They have to sell their land. So economic progress matters a lot, even for sovereignty too. There is no sovereignty without prosperity, I believe. Secondly, because the Fano fighters have carried out an attack on a very strategic town in the Amhara. People say, Sajid, the intensity of fighting has decreased in the Amhara region. Fano fighters are exhausted. A viewer asked this question last night in the live chat discussion. No, I've been saying that Fano fighters are not exhausted, but fronts keep on changing, and international media has no access to the Amhara region. Human rights organizations have no access to the Amhara region. The day Amhara region is opened and everyone is allowed to visit those places where fighting is ongoing, you will see that intensity of fighting is not decreasing. Drone strikes have increased. Yes, UN human rights body issued a statement 2 days ago confirming several drone strikes on Fano positions, which led to deaths of civilians too in the past 2 weeks. And Fano fighters also carrying out assassinations confirmed by UN human rights body. Yesterday, Fano fighters carried out an attack in a very strategic town. South Gondar is a stronghold of Fano fighters. I've been saying that Gojam, South Gondar, parts of Wollo are the zones where Fano groups are in a very strong position. Entire South Gondar to the east and west of Wuldir, Debre Tabor Road, has a significant Fano presence. Wereta is a very strategic town. It connects Wuldia to Debre Tabor Road, Wuldia Debre Tabor Road, and Gondar Bahida Road meet in Wereta. It's also called Wereta Junction. It's a sort of junction, T junction, where both roads meet. Very strategic road. And close to Wereta, there is Fano presence. There's Debre Tabor, Alambar there. A meeting of the Prosperity Party was underway in Wereta yesterday. Fano fighters stormed Wereta. They stormed the meeting. Some sources say they killed some meeting participants. We have not been able to confirm the damage caused, but Fano's entry in Wereta is being confirmed. Again, I've been saying that Fano fighters have very effective network of intelligence collection. They know what is happening in different town cities. Though internet remains cut off, sometimes mobile services are cut off too in the Amhara region. But Fano fighters mainly relying on human intelligence, and that is how they carry out assassination. They carry out ambush attacks. That they have in advance information about the activities of government officials. So then they knew that a meeting of Prosperity Party was underway in Wereta. They wanted to disrupt the meeting. They entered Wereta. They disrupted the meeting. They took control of Wereta. Will they stay there in Wereta? No. Wereta is so strategic that military would not allow Fano to remain deployed there. Sooner or later, a big counteroffensive will come on Wereta and Fano fighters will have to withdraw. But Fano fighters have achieved their objective. Whenever they enter these town cities, they attack police stations, they free prisoners, they capture weapons, and they assassinate those government officials who have been proactively operating against Fano fighters. So these are their objectives. They want to make the entire Amhara region ungovernable. They want to ensure that military remains caught up, trapped in the Amhara region. Military does not want to be deployed to each and every cabal of the Amhara region. That is what Abraham Bale said, Minister of Defense of Ethiopia, 2 days ago at an appearance. He was questioned by members of House of Representatives, and their MPs asked questions about the performance of military, and he said that ENDF is not for fighting in each and every cabal of the Amhara region. It's the responsibility of police and militia to fight them. But police and militia, local government officials, they are not fulfilling their responsibilities. The military has been forced to be part of these operations. So military not happy with its deep involvement in law and order maintenance in the Amhara region. But without military, police and militia cannot govern the region. They cannot administer the region. That is why military is there. So Fano's entry in Wereta being confirmed by several sources. Thank you for watching.